Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Lunchtime Live. So, as you guys know, I've been working on this goose, and I spoke of how I was going to take this actual skull instead of taking a production one. They do make articulated ones now. You could get that, or you can do like a lot of people do, old school wise. You know, at least this person does. And that would be to utilize the actual skull from the real bird itself. That way you're making sure it's the right size. There's no question. You've already taken pictures. I've got, reference pictures. Whenever you're skinning something out, always take reference pictures. Take a picture of that joint, the spot where the neck and the skull come together, that joint there, that transition between the two. You want to get as much info as you can about your piece before you start dissecting it. And you can do that real quick. You get in the habit of doing something, you do it in a rhythm, so you get it going real quick. But so what I did was, as I skinned it, I took the tongue out. Okay, so you take your tongue. I freeze mine. That way, when I'm cold casting, it's staying in the shape that I want it. You're not really trying to sit there and manipulate it afterwards into what you want. You're getting it where you need it. You freeze it again, and then that way you're going to be able to manipulate it into the shape you want. Okay, so here we go. There's a couple of steps I'm going to talk about. First off, the skull cleaning you guys have seen quite a few different times. So you guys have seen, I went live this morning just to put it on, didn't even worry about talking. Got to work and let you guys see what I do, and the difficulties that are involved in this is trying to get every piece of meat, all the excess bio out of there, or meat. So anyways, I went ahead and cleaned this. Then I took and soaked it in some lacquer thinner. That'll pickle any meat that's left on that. Then I pulled it out. I put it in the shape. I actually used one of my human lumbars that I recreated. I don't even know where I put it, but I took that and I just shoved it in there. Got it to the perfect spot. You want to make sure as you're going to dry this. So once I pulled it out of that lacquer thinner, I put it in borax, soak up all the excess moisture, let it sit in that for a couple minutes, not maybe 2 minutes. Then turn around and took propped it open, made sure it was even, because what you're doing is when you're sticking it in front of that fan for 10 minutes or so, 15, whatever it may be, what you're doing is you're drying those ligaments into place. So you're going to lock that shape in. And then when you're doing your Bondo, so there's a new product by 3M. This isn't a plug. A buddy of mine turned me on to this. He said, you got to try this. You'll never use the regular Bondo ever again. So what we got here is the quick grip filler, and it's, I'll let you guys know what I think of it, but it's really, you can feather in those lines. You can, I'm really excited because that's one thing about the Bondo is you got a quick window of time to get it done and get it shaped proper before it's kicked off, and there you go. It's hard as a rock, So this feathers a lot easier. So I'm looking forward to trying it out. But anyways, that's here nor there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to focus on walking you guys through what I did with the skull as I'm doing. From here, what I would do is measure off the tongue, see how much I need to have for it to sit naturally, right? Then I'm going to trim off the rest of this back here. So just use these little scissors right here. There is bone in there, so you're going to have to cut through it. By the way, a good friend, hunting buddy of mine, Dan Jordan, he told me one time he saved all the tongues from his ducks that he hunted one season. And they took the time and meticulous separation of tongue meat and the bone out, and so on and so forth, cleaned it up and had some lingua de pato tacos. You want to talk about some tongue tacos? I was excited when he told me that. One of these days, one of these seasons, maybe this season, I'll get hooked up to where I take the time to do that myself. But Alright, anyway, so I've trimmed it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take pins and I'm going to use those pins to lock it in the shape or the position I need it in. Then I'm going to take this tape here, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and just walk on through it. Yep. So what I'm doing is selecting the pins that I'm going to want to use. Use a couple of T-pins, see if that'll work. I say see if that'll work because you're doing this on the fly. Nothing's ever cut and dry. You got to think on the fly, so to speak. So this T-pin should work. Keep in mind, it's always fun to stab yourself at work. Do it a couple times a day. Just try it sometime. You should laugh. Keeps you on your toes. Just don't do it at your other job. That's the last thing I want to do as a tattoo artist, to stab myself. Alright, so, and by the way, people, I am doing tattoos in the evening. If you need ink done, let me know if you want to get in with me. I'm going to make the time when we get done. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create this vessel. Now this may not work. I may have to switch over to what I typically use, which is a plastic cup or something. But I didn't have anything on hand, and I don't like where that's sitting, but see, because once it's in there, that stuff starts moving while you got that dental alginate in there, or even worse when you're using, high-grade silicone. After you degas it, you only got so much time, and then things start moving. It's not really a good thing, so I'm not going to mess with that one. We're going to have to figure it out. So what I'll do now is I will take, say, a cup, and I will cut. That's an awful lot of alginate. I don't want to use that much. Thinking on the fly, because I'm out of plastic cups at the moment. So I guess what we'll do is exactly that. Use that. So what I'm going to do when I get a plastic cup or anything else, red Solo cup, I know where one is, but it's inside, so I'm not going to go after it. Anyways, so you're going to cut the bottom of your cylinder out. You're going to take this tongue, you're going to put it on the plate, secure it with a screw, whatever you need to do, get it to where it's not going to move. Then you take this piece and you slide it over. Matter of fact, I've already got one over here. So you can do it any number of ways. Whatever works, works. Obviously, if it don't, it don't. So I would take, this is just an example, you take your plastic cup, you make a better fit plastic cup around this, you're not wasting so much material. So you would attach this here. It's got to go back in the freezer, so I'm not going to be doing this stuff live, but I will talk about it and go through it. You attach it there. It's going to be nice and firm because it's going to be semi-frozen. It's called cold casting. Then you would take your cup or your vessel and put it down there. Then you take some modeling clay, some sculpting modeling clay, and you take this and you make ropes out of it, or noodles, and you press it around the edge, creating a down. That's how you're going to create your vessel. So you got to think on the fly, figure the stuff out. A lot of people think this is just easy stuff. It's not, and I love the challenge. Every day is a new challenge. There's always something new to figure out, to solve while you're doing this stuff. So use your head, think about it, and think outside the box. Chuck used to ask me, how are you doing this? I don't know. I don't know the rules, man. I didn't know I'm not supposed to be able to sew a duck's head back on 5 months into doing it. I didn't know that. And that's the beauty of thinking outside the box. Is you can always think on the fly. You can always figure it out and make it happen. So get out there, go help somebody, help a kid, take them fishing. Get out there and just bless those around you. So thanks for tuning in to another edition of Lunchtime Live. The channel on Spoon and Feather. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming up this coming year. This fall we're doing quite a bit of things as well, and we're doing big things, big things. So get out there and go bless somebody, and be blessed yourself. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Lunchtime Live.